Hello, welcome back to my channel, Georgia Girl Air Woman Wellness. Let me take this down right here. Today is Wellness Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a great Wednesday afternoon. I'm fixing to get on camera. I don't know how that got up there. Today is Wellness Wednesday, and I'll be sharing about bully awareness and how it affects your health. I share about bully every year. The school is back in session now, and we have to make sure we do whatever we can to help protect our kids. Make sure they understand that about bullying, and make sure no one bully them and they don't bully no one else. So it go both ways. When you teach your children, you teach them to defend themselves, but you don't teach them to be a bully. I know sometimes things get to be out of hand. I'm trying to take this off my stream. A lot of people would say a lot of people can't take a joke or take a roast or shade. A lot of people don't be doing it. I'm trying to get this off here. But other than that, I'm doing okay. God, grace, and mercy. Let's see. Try. Okay, I got the media. I don't know why it won't let me take it off. Let's see, can I go to my phone? So can I take it off my phone? But yeah, this just was when I was talking about safety, which I still talk about safety and wellness just about every day in some type of form. This one I was talking about when you're outside, make sure you're protected. But I'll be talking about bully awareness today. But I'm trying to take that off the stream. It seems like my computer's trying to stick or something. I don't know what's going on. But let me stick it and I take it off through my phone. And we're also doing Bible verse of the day. We're on day 3. Shout out to everybody who's sharing a Bible verse. Let me see, can I take this? I see Terry and Lewis came in the chat. Hey, y'all. Y'all doing okay? Let me take that off right now. I'm here. I had to take that down. How's everybody doing? I see 10 people watching. I guess they're in the bushes. So if you're in the bushes, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I'm your host, of course, Georgia Girl, and today is Wellness Wednesday. And I'll be sharing, this is my 3rd episode about bullying awareness. I started sharing short videos on Monday. School is back in session. And every year I try to share some things about bullying. Either bully, cyberbully, those things are important. That's why I'm sharing awareness about it. This is kind of like a personal story that I have shared before, but about my granddaughter. I thank God that she's a survivor. She's an overcomer from all of that when she was in school. But I hope everybody's having, hey Frank, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday. And shout out to everybody that's doing the Bible verse of the day. Frank G, Sassy, myself, and Miss Key. Those challenges are winding down, guys. They are winding down. How y'all day going? How is y'all day going? How is y'all day going? But first I want to show that. Hold on. Yeah, this popped up on the phone on my phone, Frank, because I don't usually keep up with how many years I've been on. Because I didn't think I had been on that long. I was thinking it was about 4 or 5, but then you know how you see stuff in your that pop up like in your studio. They were like, "Today is your anniversary." Hey, life with you, Sharon. How you doing? I didn't think I was on YouTube for 6 years, but it popped up on my phone, and I said, "Well, wow, I can remember when I first started on YouTube." But today is my 6 year anniversary, guys. Today is my 6 year anniversary of being on YouTube. And I do want to thank everybody for support that have been supporting me along the way these past 6 years. I did put this on my community wall earlier. For every view, for every donation, for every membership, every thumbs up, I do appreciate it. Every share. And this has not been a easy journey, but you know, you learn as you go. But today I've been on YouTube 6 years. And some of the people in my chat, I met them over 6 years ago, like to Sharon, Frank, who else in here? Uh, I met Tara a couple of years ago, but I know I met Life with the Sharon. She one of the ones, and Frank and Miss Key is one of the ones I know I met in the beginning. And it's good to see that we still, you know, still keep in touch with one another. You know, I know we all have channels and we all have lives, but I thank God and I appreciate the ones that do come in and pop up when you're able to. But yeah, so 6 years, guys. Keep your bells on. There is more to come on this channel. Long as God give me the strength to be able to do and share the things that I can share, I will continue to keep pushing. Okay? That's good. Yeah, I knew it was. I was thinking I was 4 years, but I'm like, wow, it's been 5 years. But they got on my thing. I started YouTube. I guess I logged in 2015, but I didn't start a channel until 6 years ago. So I want to share that right there. So I'm gonna get into what I'll be talking about today. Hey y'all again, I'm here behind this stream, but anytime that you have can say you didn't did what you could on this YouTube channel, whether you monetize or not, you still putting in the work, you still taking time and sharing things on your channel. And you know, like I said, we can learn from all of us. We can learn something from every channel out here, from cooking to fitness to positivity to sports. I mean, it's something out here that you can see. Music, if you choose to play music on your channel. So I don't take nothing for granted. So I'm thankful for the support I do get. So I'm going to get into my commentary for today. I'm going to open it up, sharing that I'm thankful that my granddaughter is a survivor of bullying. She's a survivor of cyberbullying and bullying. And I'm thankful and truly grateful that she was able to overcome all those challenges because this was not easy for her. It was not easy. My granddaughter has been on here and she have talked about it herself. I was trying to see can I get her today, but I think she's working. But I am so proud of her. So proud of her. Because bullying can have a long-term effect on people. You know, some people go into their adulthood still being traumatized from what they have been through during their childhood. But I'm thankful. I'm a praying grandmother. And my granddaughter chose faith over fear. But it was a little touchy at first, But she was young during the time all this was going on. So this is Wellness Wednesday. This is episode 3 of Back to School Bully Awareness and Cyberbullying. How it can affect your health. And like I said, I'm so proud of the woman my granddaughter is today. She's a high school graduate. She's a wonderful mom. And she's also ready to start college in the fall. She'll be taking up nursing. So I'm glad that what she had went through when she was younger. I think she was in like the ninth grade. I think she was in the ninth grade when people was bullying her. And I have shared this before about how did it affect her. But I'm so glad that we was able to reach her. She was with the right people. Because a lot of people be reaching out for help. There's a lot of people be crying for help, and a lot of people just ignore the red signs. We didn't think that was going on. My granddaughter, we saw how she was acting when she was coming from school, and um, how things were, how she was really, we saw her behavior. Though was one of the red flags we saw, her behavior, how she was being angry, and we was wondering what was going on, who was bothering her. And she wasn't able to just come out and just tell me and her mom. She did tell my son. If you could find someone, if anybody going through this type of situation, being bullied and stuff like that, a lot of people be scared to open up to others about what's going on. But I'm just so glad and thankful. Hey, how you doing? Yes, she's doing good. Hey, Sassy. I was just giving y'all, hey, Miss Keith. I gave y'all a shout out for doing your Bible verses. I think you're all doing a great job. Keep spreading the word. But like I said, this is personal to me because I witnessed my granddaughter going through this. But I'm just so grateful for the woman she is today. And y'all have heard me share this. I have shared this a couple of times for bullying. And she have been over here on my channel, and she have also spoke on it. I called her earlier today to see that she want to come on the panel, but she's working. She hadn't called me back. I'm assuming she's working. But yes, I'm so proud of her, of the woman she is today. So a lot of people don't take bullying and cyberbullying serious, but they need to start. They need to start taking it serious. As I always be saying, talk to your children, see what's going on with them. When they go to school, ask them how their day was. Like I said, a lot of children do not like to open up and talk about what going on at school. Some like the older kids, they try to be like, they don't like to talk about what they did during the day. But if you know your child and you know your child behavior, and you know that something is different going on with them, like if they start dressing different, if they start acting different. And let me put this disclaimer out. This is for educational purposes only. I'm not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment for anything. But if you are anybody that is being bullied, or you know someone being bullied, there are places and sources that you can get your help. Over here is just awareness, and I just like to share and share it with my chat. But like I said, we had to get counseling for my granddaughter. She talked to someone, and now it's always have been that way. You don't have to reveal your name. You can talk to someone online. You can talk to somebody where you don't even have to tell who you are, but you just want to reach out for help. If you know anyone that need to talk to someone, they have those 911 numbers where they can talk to someone anonymous. It had got to the point where they was bullying my granddaughter to the point where she didn't want to be here no more. And when a person start getting to the point where they don't want to live because of what a person have said about them, that is bullying. A lot of people say a lot of people can't take a shade, or a lot of people can't take a roast, or a lot of people can't take um, just having fun. But when it come down to stuff like that, I don't play around like that. I don't throw shades. I don't want nobody throwing shades at me. I don't bully no one. I try not to offend no one. If I do, I ask God and I ask you to forgive me. But people feelings does matter, and words does hurt. I don't care how many times people can say, I'm not bothered about what they're saying, but deep down, you'll say to yourself, oh, they trying me, because some people will try you. Some people will try you. They'll try to talk about your way of living. They'll try to body shame you, try to talk about your weight, your hair. They're just how people do. They love to pick. I don't call that picking. I call it bullying. We have bullies on YouTube. We have bullies on social media. Adults get bullied just like children. So sometimes you have to be mindful what you say to people, because you don't know how that impact is affecting them mentally. I don't know if y'all know the guy named Kenneth, but be in my chat, he shared how he was being bullied when he was young. I think he's 50 some years old now, but he shared with me, he sent me the information in an email, and he was saying how the kids was bullying him, the teachers wouldn't do nothing. And that really affected him mentally, because he couldn't go to class without them picking at him. And like I said, some people have long terms. Some people deal with long terms effects from being bullied. So my prayers going out to anybody that is going through this. And if anybody have been bullied or they have bullied someone, if you want to share your story, I'm willing to listen. Frank said, I was bullied in school too. Yeah, I think I remember when you told me that. So what did they do to you, Frank? What was some of the things that they did to you? I used to people used to pick at me and stuff like that. Like used to say hurtful words to me when I was coming up. That is a form of bullying, when people say harmful and hurtful things. They'll either try to talk about your clothes or your hair, or how some people try to put other children down because they are maybe a little bit more fortunate than others. They might dress a little bit better than other children, but some kids are so cruel, y'all. Some of them can be so cruel, and they can just say some of their horrible things to people, and they do it to adults. Children bully and talk about adults. They don't respect their elders. They rather talk about that person the way they look, or the way that person walking, or the way that person talking. It always be something. Mickey said, Frank, how did you overcome getting bullied in school? I was a bully. You was a bully. You said I was bullied. So what did they mostly do? Did they used to try to talk about you? Did they make you feel bad? Mickey want to know, how did you overcome? Prayer. Okay. I'm enjoying everyone prayer. Yeah, we're enjoying yours too. Something that needs to be posted daily. Exactly. I have been there before as a child. Okay. I got bullied on YouTube when I first started social media. Oh, you did? That's why I said you get bullied on social media. People can come and say some of the evilness stuff, because uh they try to kill your spirit. They don't want to see you doing good. Like I said, I've been on YouTube 6 years, and I just found that out today that I've been on YouTube 6 years. The thing was popping up on my phone. I said, I've been on here 6 years. But yes, I almost let that devil got me off of YouTube. I almost let that devil got me off because a person was picking at me because I call her a bully. Anytime you have to pick at someone for no reason, you are a bully. You are a coward. Especially if you don't know people. You don't know people on YouTube unless you have sat down on a person's face and talked to them in person. I'm not just talking about on social media. But this girl, she had a pick at me because I was with people she didn't like. And I always have said, people need to get to know people. Stop judging people based on people you don't like. Everybody is not with that. The girl had made me so mad. I mean, my daughter had to go in her chat. And she claimed she didn't see my daughter come in her chat. My daughter went in that girl chat and told her, leave my mama alone. My mama do not bother nobody. She be over here doing what she do on her channel. You mad because she's dealing with people you don't like? But don't come for my mama. She don't bother you. Because I'll fixing to delete my channel. Because she took my pictures she took my picture off one of my videos, put it on another person's body. And it was during the time I'm a moderator for a person she don't like. She was calling us golden girls and what did she call us? The granny sword and all those kind of stuff. But one thing about me, I'm proud to be a grandparent. You can call me granny all day. I ain't gonna deny it. I'm not gonna deny being who I am. I'm a proud grandmother. Proud grandmother of 3 grandchildren and 1 great grand. And see, that's the problem out here on YouTube. I hate to say it. I'm not stepping on nobody's toes, but that's the problem out here on YouTube. Because you don't like someone, you don't want to support that person because they in somebody else's chat that you don't like. That is a personal problem. That is a personal problem. Support who you want to support. Follow who you want to follow. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you should go to that channel because they doing this, they doing that. Do not be a follower. Have your own mind. I call those people bullies. That's what I call bullies. When you can have somebody else make your mind up and tell you who you can't support. That means you acting just like them, a coward. Because we grown out here. I never been a bully in school. I was a person that kids came to me when they was bullied by others. That's great. And we need people out here. Children need people like that at school. A lot of them follow the crowd. That's why I talk to my grandson, my granddaughter. I have 2 kids still in school, and I pray that my grandkids have a prosperous year. I pray all the children have a prosperous year. It's sad because those kids be really going through some things and other people don't even know about. That's truth. Like I said, we noticed the signs and, after my granddaughter, I was like, we're trying to figure out why she want to do this, why she want to hurt herself. The teacher had called my daughter and said she was going to slit her wrist. My granddaughter wanted to kill herself, y'all. She don't like to talk about it, but she wanted to kill herself because people was bullying her. They did it on site. They did it on TikTok. They did it at school. That's why I said social media is good to have it, and at the end of the way, it's not good to have it. I was talked about like a dog and still happens today, but I know how to deal with it. Yep. I feel you, Frank. Like I said, adults get bullied just like children, and some adults act just like children. Some adults act just like children. Instead of trying to uh, see what the problem, figure out what the problem is, but they keep going on and on. That one thing about me, and I have said this and I'm going to say it again. If you have a problem with me, I give you my personal number. You can get my email. We can talk through Instagram. However, I want to be a woman about things. I don't like to bring stuff to social media. I don't. Because that's just like, to me, they're just like just adding more, just making it worse. But a lot of people bring stuff to social media for attention. Like I said, I don't have a problem with nobody. Nobody. They might not fool with me, and I know they don't fool with me. I stay out their way. You hear me? I stay out people's way. If I know you don't fool with me on social media, and you don't fool with me on my channel, you won't see me. And that's just the bottom line. Yep, that's just how I am. I don't bother people, and I don't want people to bother me. If you choose to go and support somebody else, I'm good with that. I'm good. But it's a lot of bulliness out here on these channels. I'm telling you, I have witnessed and seen how people just talk about each other on social media. They bring their children up. They talk about their houses. I mean, it just, I've seen it all. I have seen it. First thing people be saying, oh, we just roasting each other. That ain't no roast. When you can talk about somebody's children and talk about their house and how they look and where they how they dress and what try to undermine what parents are doing for their children. Yeah, it's some cruel people out here. I help kids who bullied them, and that's how I was a kid myself. That's great. Yeah. They was telling my granddaughter, social media, happy Wednesday, life to share. You know, she had a birthday a couple of days ago. Happy belated birthday for you, Mama. I know Miss Patty had a birthday a couple of days ago too. I hope both of y'all had a good birthday. But they was telling, that's just how that devil worked, y'all. The devil was telling my granddaughter to hurt herself. You know how people be going through, be traumatized, and they be hearing stuff like, a lot of people be saying they be hearing voices. And when you start hearing voices and you start listening to that other person, you need help. They was telling my granddaughter to hurt herself. They was calling her ugly. They were just saying all kind of stuff. I think she was in the 9th grade. I think I had told Mickey about it because I came on here and talked about it one day. I just cried. I cried. I just thank God today. Look at my beautiful granddaughter. She graduated. She's a mom. She getting ready to go to college in the fall. Even though she had that going on those in her early years of school, she did not let it affect her from graduating. She still went on to school, did what she had to do. But I'm glad that we was able to reach her. I told her, put everything in God's hand, keep trusting God. And he turned it around for her. Because she ended up pregnant and she had something to live for. If she was on here now, she'll tell you her baby is the reason she kept her fighting. She said her baby's the reason she just said, Lord, I got to be here for my baby. She started listening to those outsiders. She stopped listening to the ones, you know how when you be in school, you have a group of girls that think I be saying they call themselves the it girls. You have the it girls, the ones that think they got it. And then you have the girls that just mostly focus on that work. And then we had those bullies. I'm proud of, and I tell her every day she's beautiful. Because that was, I'm not getting emotional, but my eyes getting a little watery. They was calling my baby ugly because she had acne real bad. She had acne real bad. And you know, when you be going through puberty, your face break out. And I told her beyond all that, she's still beautiful. I almost did the same. What? I almost did the same thing. But my baby, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of it. So I want to start off sharing that because I have y'all done heard me speak on my baby before about what she overcome. But I'm proud of. Wow, Frank. What grade you was in? Do you remember what grade you was in? Do you remember what grade you was in, Frank? Wow. Let me see. Wow. That's something else there. When it get to the point where people have you to want to hurt yourself, it's bad. It's bad. So Frank, how did you overcome? I mean, what did you do? You say you start just giving it to God, and that was a good thing. You prayed about it. That's why I was telling my granddaughter, stop saying you want to hurt yourself. Because God would not, you would not be forgiven. Because that one thing God do not want. He don't want us to hurt ourselves. He don't want us to kill ourselves. He do not want that to happen. It's just like when people do that, they're not dealing with what need to be taken care of. We all have felt in our lives at one point in our life like we don't want to be here. Y'all got to the point where you just want to do something else with your life, or you just felt so bad. Hey, First Lady, how you doing? I'm looking on my phone. I'm seeing I'm missing some comments. Yeah, I was just talking about I thank God that my granddaughter overcame from being bullied. She graduated. She's a mom, but and then she started college in the fall for nursing. I'm just so proud of her. I'm glad that she turned to God. She have a praying grandmother, which is me. We prayed with her every day. We told her she was beautiful. And that's one thing about when kids go through things like this, we have to keep telling our children. Let them know that they are loved. Let them know that they are not alone. But anything that I share today is for educational purposes only. I'm not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment for anybody that's being bullied. If you're going through this, or if you know someone that's going through this, there are numbers you can call. I'm just sharing awareness. I'm sharing this about my granddaughter because this happened in real life. I witnessed my granddaughter. I said my daughter, but she's just like my daughter because that was my first grandbaby. I witnessed her going through it. I did. And I did all I could. And I'm glad that I was able to help her. And I was glad we was able to get her help. Because now she's a graduate. She's about ready to start college. She have a beautiful baby boy. And she said, Grandma, when I had my baby, I was trying to get her on the phone today. I was trying to get her to come on and share and just talk about how she been feeling, because this happened when she was like, I think in the 9th grade or 8th grade, something like that. But I'm just glad she's an overcomer. She's a survivor. But the devil be so busy, y'all. The devil be so busy. It'll have you feeling like you want to hurt yourself. Like I was speaking on this yesterday. My granddaughter chose faith over fear. Y'all doing all right down now? Y'all said, ooh, George girl, no, she getting, hey, welcome in. I just turned off. It just turned off for real. Just turn off the stream. Who is that? Bullying cheering is wrong. Adults should toughen up. Yes, I've been waiting for some. recognition. So you been bullied before? Have you been bullied before? Who is this? Emperor. I can't pronounce your name, but have you been bullied before? You just turn off the stream. Why the heck a child online anyways? Bad parents. Yep. But that's what they're doing. Screen time during development make brain stream. Okay. That is true. Then some people won't say that in real life. Yeah. I don't know the person is, but they came in talking. So hello everyone. Welcome in. Like I said, just awareness. This is not an easy subject to talk about, especially if you've never been through it. I feel you, Frank. I feel you. Like I said, my granddaughter came on my channel one time. I don't know if y'all remember when she came up. That when Buddha was on the panel, and I think Miss Key probably was up there, but she because I asked her why did she never, because she didn't never tell us what was going on, y'all. We found out through what she didn't tell to me or my daughter. She spoke to my son, but I'm glad she was able to open up to somebody. That's where a lot of kids, they be scared to even report. They be scared to report someone bullying them. Because they figure like a lot of people won't listen or they won't believe them. So I'm just moving along on my commentary. I'm going to share about this right here. Just talking about what is bullying. Like I said, a lot of people be like, well, we just joking around. And a lot of people, that's one thing about me. When I was coming up in school, I ain't never like to joke around. I say something, but I never like to joke around and hurt someone's feelings because I didn't want my feelings to be hurt. But there was girls and people picking at me at school and stuff, Because back then, I was young. When you're young, you want to fit in. You want to be with the it girls. You want to be dressed like them. You want to act like them, trying to fit in. But thank y'all for sharing. Anybody else in the chat went through any type of bullying or someone tried to do something to hurt you while you was in school? And, bullying is a form of verbal abuse also, y'all. Whether y'all know it or not. That's also a form of verbal abuse. When people talk about you and spread rumors and stuff like that, that is considered abuse too, when you, especially toward a child. Oh, you remember? Yeah, I didn't got better because I couldn't even really talk about what happened to my granddaughter from crying, But like I said, it happened like 4 or 5 years ago. But I always share it when I talk about it because I can say I witnessed my granddaughter coming. She made it through it because she knew she had a reason to live. Regardless of what the bullies was telling her back then, she thought that was a way out. She thought maybe she'd do that to herself, it'll solve something. But the only thing we're gonna do is have us to go through a lot of pain, seeing her going through what she did to herself. But I was just glad that we was able to reach her. That's one thing I say. Talk to your children. See what's going on with them. Even though someone like the older kids don't like to talk about how their day was, you can say how your day was at school. Did anything happen? Still just keep a communication with your children. So on the screen, just showing what is a bully and stuff like that and why it matters. This is awareness. And if you can see it on the screen, that's what I'm going to read out right now. Yeah, it was scary. It was a scary situation from my granddaughter. It really was. They had to start monitor her. They had to start keeping an eye on her and stuff at school because she was trying to hurt herself at school. teacher called us and told us she wanted to slit her wrist. It was a lot going on at that school. It really was. We found out the next door neighbors was picking at her. I never forget that day. And we was talking about this not too long ago. I never forget that day when she came in the house and grabbed that knife. Oh, and I saw when she grabbed that knife. And like I said, I get up, I move best fast as I can move. But that day there, y'all, it seemed like I had so much energy and so much power. I had to knock my granddaughter down, y'all. It's just like I had to, I don't know how in the world I did it. But I had to knock her down to keep her from going out that door with that knife. And we were talking about that. I was like, girl, you could have cut me. I could have been cut up. Because I had to stop her from going out the door with the knife. Because she was finna get ready to go next door to our neighbors. And she was finna cut somebody up because they was picking at her. But God, that day, I said, God put some power in me that day. I said, God, I moved faster than I thought I would move. They were like, wow. My other grandkids, my grandma, how did you like that? Look, I leaped up there and knocked her down. I sure did. Bonus three is saying, what is bullying? Bullying is when someone repeatedly and on purpose tries to hurt and embarrass or control another person. And that's what they do. They try to say harmful things. They try to embarrass you. They try to make you feel bad about something. Okay, I don't know who this person impart is. Welcome in. I'm trying to see. But I'm just thankful my granddaughter is. Woo. Thank you, First Lady, for the roses. I'm that glad she could share it with her brothers and sisters. She could, that's why I tell her, be good examples because you got your brothers and sisters coming up behind you, Let's see, I'm just checking to see if I overlooked anybody. Yeah, it is rough in school. It's definitely. It'd be at school. It'd be on social media. Yeah, I know it's not an easy subject. I done got better because, okay, Sassy, good to see you. I saw that meal you had cooked over there. It wasn't easy with me in the beginning. But he used to tell you when I used to talk about it, when I used to have Booty used to be on the panel, I used to be on the panel, I used to be crying because that when my baby was like, that's when we first realized what was going on and stuff. And she came on my channel and we was asking her why did she do what she do? Why did she never want to tell us? And she was like, she was scared to speak about it. Sometimes when kids go through stuff like that, they think nobody won't listen to them. They're thinking that nobody won't believe them. They probably think they be lying. But I'm telling anybody, listen at your children. When they come home and tell you something, listen. Pay attention. Watch the red flags. So right here, just talking about what is bullying in person, online, cyberbullying, through words of action, through inclusion, or rumors. That's why I said rumors, spreading rumors about people, that is a sign of bullying. You spreading rumors, telling lies, you putting it on social media, that is cyberbullying. If you don't have any type of evidence or any type of something to show that what you're saying is true, and you keep going on, and you keep just posting this about a person on social media, that is cyberbullying. Because that's what they do. They try to, I say they miserable, and they try to make another person feel bad because of something they have already been through. A lot of kids get bullied these days. They just scared to tell. Yeah, scared to tell their parent because most of the parent won't believe them. But that's why I always say, talk to your children. Ask them what's going on. So right here, just saying why it matters. Bullying can hurt a person's feelings, self-esteem, and mental health. It's affecting learning. It's affect learning, confidence, and the joy of school. No one deserves to be treated unkindly. Kindness is power. Bullying is never okay. Speak up, get help. Kindness is cool, but bullying is not. So I was just sharing some things that I pulled up some research on it and stuff like that. Um, it said, remember, you are important, you are strong, you are enough, you matter, you really do. I don't know who's going through this at school, on social media. Remember, you are worthy, you are important. No matter what that person behind the screen might say about you, they don't know you. A lot of people, when they do that on those, when they be behind those streams, they just want attention. They do anything for views and clicks. That's what I say. Because you don't know a person like that to say this person did this, spread rumors about somebody. You don't know them like that. And you keep talking about them, you keep sharing the same post, and that's just a sign of bullying. So I want to share that. Just a couple of things I want to read. But like I said, this is, hey, how you doing, Joshua? Joshua, have you ever been bullied before? Have you ever been bullied before? I know you have autism, and have anyone bullied you because you have autism? Has anyone bullied you in a way that make you feel like, you know, and let me say this right here, and I do share things about autism. Because you got autism, that don't mean that you don't have a life. You still have a life. Some children with autism are very smart, and then there are some that they still have to. They will get there. They have their ways of learning. They might be behind, that not developed the way everybody else, but you are intelligent, you are smart, and you do matter. So I know a lot of people like to bully people that have disabilities and stuff like that, and that's wrong. That's wrong. So I want to share. I told you the definition of bullying and how it affects someone, and I shared that about my granddaughter. Okay, let me get back to my stream. Welcome in, Josh. You're doing a good job over there with your fitness. I see you over there. Be working hard. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work, Joshua. And anybody that's doing anything for themselves, whether you're doing something through fitness, whether you're just working on you, shout out to you. Shout out to anybody that's working on them for them. Yep. So I'm just grateful that my granddaughter listened. She did listen, and she know that she does matter. She's older now, so I told her she's got to set example for her baby, her siblings. You know, that's why my grandson he going to a different school now. I mean, he going to high school, and we know when you go to high school for the first time, everybody know how it is when you go to high school, being new at a school. And I was telling my grandson that you don't have to follow the crowd. It's okay to. They tell about he real quiet. I hope he stay quiet, but he might find some friends there. But I always tell him, do not be a follower. That's always my message to my grandkids. Don't be a follower. So these are my two babies right here. I shared this in a video a couple of days ago. These my two children that still in school now. I have a ninth grader and a third grader. That's Booster right there, the one that got the channel. And that's my grandson. He's going to the high school for the first time. And Booster's still in elementary. And she was going through some bullying last year too. She would look, thought that she was bullying somebody. I'm like, go, how be over here? I told her, look, we're trying to keep from bullying folks and find out. She said she was bullying the little girl last year too. The little girl was bullying her, and she was bullying someone. I'm like, Lord Jesus, not my own grandchildren. So I told her that when she started school the other day, I said, don't you start that stuff this year. I said, don't you be bullying nobody. And we pray that nobody be bullying you. I'm like, what, girl? So I'm like, yeah, Grandma, we were bullying each other. I'm like, girl, that ain't nothing good that we want to be doing. So those my two babies, my two grands. I pray they have a prosperous year. And I pray all the other kids have a prosperous year also. You could be a buddy, but don't be a bully. And I also have some online merch available if anybody want any type of go to that next. Anybody want anything to share awareness? I have these merch in my online shop. I need to go down and refresh again. I'll be right back, y'all. I have these merch in my shop. It says "Stop Bullying." You can check out my website. So you said you didn't or you did? You said you didn't get bullied and you sued before? Okay. Okay, Joshua. So you haven't bullied no one either, right? So I'm just showing my merch. Okay, the next thing I want to share was the statistics and why do you think people bully others? That's the next thing. So why do y'all think people bully other people? Because I have a list of things up here and it say why people bully others. And let me make sure y'all get this disclaimer. The information shared in this video or live stream is for educational and inspirational purposes only. It's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional for any health concerns. If you are experiencing bullying, emotional distress, or suicide thoughts, please reach out for help immediately. So I had to put that out there, because this is social media. And, I don't like to want people to feel like I'm trying to diagnose or anything like that or try to suggest anything. What I do is awareness. I share information. I tell you where the information can come from. And there are numbers out there you can call. There are places you can get help from if you're going through any of these types of things that I always talk about on my channel, whether it's bullying, whether it's any type of wellness I be sharing. If it's something that you know is harmful to you, you know someone is bullying you and causing you feel like you want to hurt yourself, there are numbers you can call. You don't even have to give your name. You can be anonymous. So on the screen, I don't know if y'all see what I got on the screen. It said, bullying and cyberbullying impact health. Why do people bully others? And I just got a list of things just showing why people bully others. They want power or control, and that's true. People feel like when they bully you, they feel like they got your power. They feel like they can control you because they know. Because you know when someone picking at you and keep constantly at you, and you can respond and you can choose not to respond. But I feel like when you try to respond back to a person, hey Lewis, I did watch your I watched your replay. That was a pretty good live you had over there. Thanks for sharing that. We're still talking about bullying. I shared about my granddaughter is an overcomer. She's a survivor. I thank God we was able to get to her because she did want to kill herself behind being bullied. Thank you. And right here I'm just showing, why do you think people like to bully others? Why y'all think people like to bully others? They want power or control. They may have low self-esteem or feel insecure. When people bully you, it's because they got something going on with them. Yeah, that's the hotline number. They want power or control. They may have low self-esteem or feel insecure. They are bullied themselves and repeat the behavior. Some people go through bullying themselves, and instead of them getting the help they need, they try to bully others. That's why I said the bullies have a problem themselves. Instead of them facing their problem, they try to take it out on others. And that's wrong. You got a problem with somebody bullying you, you report them. Don't try to take it out on other people because you can't handle what's going on with you. You can get your power back. You don't have to let them control what they do to you. To be honest with you, that I was going to tell like it because people want it to be a what? They think they can bully just because they want to. Yeah, that's true. Because that's how they feel like they got power over you. Once they feel like they got that power over you, they're going to continue to keep doing it. They're going to continue to keep doing it. Because I used to be bullied in school. So what did they used to do to you, Lewis? If you want to come on the panel and talk about it, I'll drop the link if you want to come up and talk about it. But what did they used to do to you? And how did you overcome? You can put it in the comments or I can drop the link for you. A lot of people be up under peer pressure, wanting to fit in. And I think that's one of the biggest problems right there, y'all. Wanting to fit in. Want to be like the next kid. You know, I think that's some of the biggest problem with the teenagers and kids these days. They be up under a lot of peer pressure. They be up under a lot of peer pressure. And if they don't have what the next kid have, they're going to feel like, let me see. Well, I can tell you in the chat. Okay, because I didn't get bullied, but people is hating on me on my channel. What? So you've been cyberbullied. Wow. And that's what they be doing when they sit behind a stream and say horrible, evil things to people. Oh, okay then, Lewis. That's fine. Wow. So people was bullying you from social media. That is cyberbullying. So I was just naming some things why people bully others. Peer pressure, wanting to fit in, anger, jealousy, or frustration. When I was bullied, they used to bully me all the time because of the way uh my where I used to have club when I was born and I had to fix it by surgery. So they used to bother you. I guess you were saying, okay. So you had like what club feet, or I guess that's what you're saying, and you had surgery. They used to pick at you about that. Wow. And you was born like that, right? Back then, people hating on me, but now I got so much support. Oh, okay. Oh, you said back then people was hating on you, this Joshua, but now you got so much support. That's good. That's good, Joshua. And when my doctor connected my foot, went backwards because he overcorrected then. Oh, okay. So you had club feet. I think that's what you was trying to say. You had club feet and you had surgery. So did they correct it or did it get better? So they would talk about you because the way you walk. Okay. Wow. That's why I said people say some cruel and mean things to people. That's why I say you have to be careful how you talk and treat people because those tables can turn. So these are some things that anger, jealousy, frustration, lack of empathy or respect for others, problems at home and school, in a relationship. Social media can make some people feel anonymous, leading to cyberbullying. And that's what it is. Social media is some of the cause of what people be. One of the causes of cyberbullying is when people get on there, speak and say evil things to people about people. These boys would sit. That comment went by so quick. Let me see, can I get it back? These boys would keep going up. Hold on. I'm trying to slide it back down. These comment going so fast.
We put in free.
Yeah. Okay. That's what you said. Okay. These boys would sit there and laugh at me and giggle, and I didn't know what they was laughing at me about until one of their hold on one of their friends came over and told me, wow. Okay. Yes, my doctor corrected, but he overcorrect them. So your feet, you go backwards, left to the right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Lewis. Oh, they would call you Donald Duck. Wow. That's sad. Did this happen while you was a child? You had this surgery done when you was a child. Did you ever try to get it like straight mic out, or you still walk that way? I feel like I walk like a pigeon. I walk like it's just like when I walk now because of that disc in my back, it have my hip going like it's just like I be going up. It's just like my back, my hip go up high and I fall back down. That's why I always be having like my cane or something like that because I be off balance. And people be looking at me like, you okay? They be like, first thing they say, you had surgery? They be asking questions, wondering why I walk the way I walk. But you know what, Lewis? I'm walking. I'm walking. I thank God I can walk. Even though I be struggling sometimes, but that's why I don't walk a long way, but I can walk because it'll bother me because I give out quickly. That's why y'all mostly see me sitting down when I'm doing my exercise because I really get off balance a lot. I'm sorry to hear about that, Lord. But right here, I was just talking about why people are bullies, because some of them be jealous of you. They get bullied. Your bully get bullied. So they want to bully you. They have low self-esteem. They have something going on at home, or they got something going on in their relationship. Instead of dealing with their problems, they try to take them out on you. Social media is one main reason a lot of people do what they do. They are cowards. They get behind those streams and they try to say horrible things to you, evil things, but you never see who they are. Some of them hide behind their avatar. So right here is showing about 1 in 5 high school students report being bullied at school each year. More than 1 in 6 high school students report being electronic bullying and cyberbullying. So 1 in 5 report like verbal bullying and stuff like that. That's why I said you don't even have to touch no one. When you say bad things to people, like words do hurt. Don't never feel like a person's words don't hurt you. Because they can say some horrible things. People can say some horrible things coming out their mouth. And instead of just keeping your mouth closed, they rather come out and say evil stuff and something to make someone feel bad. And they said 1 in 6 people get cyberbullying. Like I said, that what happened to my granddaughter. She was cyberbullied and she was also bullied. And she wanted to commit suicide because they had got to that point where she didn't want to be here. But I'm glad that she knows she had a lot to live for. So among students who reported being bullied at school, about 22% said the bullying happened online or by text. And that's what I'm saying. They probably ain't doing the physical bullying now, but they're in some states they still bully at school, but now since social media is out, they do it online. That's why if you got, like someone said in the comments, children should be on social media, and that's true. But if you got children on social media, monitor your children. See who they follow, see who following them. My little granddaughter got her little channel, and we be over there watching her channel. We see who be in the comments. You know, some of her comments are off, and I'm glad YouTube do that. I'm glad YouTube do cut comments off when it come down to children. That one thing I'm glad about. Yes, I do still walk that way. Okay. I also got bullied because, okay, hold on. When I was born, I had spinal bifida, and when you have your bladder doesn't work right, and they were making fun of me because I was wearing briefs. What? Wow, Luz, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I'm sorry to hear about that. So, Luz, how did you overcome all of this? This was happening while you was in high school or elementary. How did you overcome from all of that? And and how you feel about it today? Do people still try to bully you today? And if you do get bullied, you can overcome it. Yeah. That's why I was asking, how did you overcome it? I did continue with the bullying until one day the principal came out of his office, and that's when I broke my silence and told my principal, "Oh, I'm glad you said something." But how long did you stay quiet, Lewis? How long did you stay quiet? I'm finna get ready to get on camera now. How long did you stay quiet? And that's what I was talking about. That, let's see, is it something else I got in? That's what I was talking about. Hey, y'all, that a lot of children be scared to talk about it because some people be believing like they be lying, especially the smaller kids. When you tell them, if they tell you something, they be thinking a lot of children be lying. But If you know your children, like I said, if you know your children, you know how they act, you know what they, you know what I'm saying? You know their behavior, and they start acting different. They come home, don't want to eat, or they come home real hungry. 9 times out of 10, somebody's taking their lunch. If your child come on and act like they ain't ate nothing, or if they don't never come on and say, well, we had this at school today. If they don't never talk about their lunchtime, or if they take something of theirs and they don't want to speak on it, they're getting bullied. They're getting bullied. I know the other year, my grandson, I don't know what was going on with him. He let another person got his tennis shoes. He gonna swap tennis shoes with another student. He had a brand new pair of tennis shoes. And he coming home with the old tennis shoes. And we like, boy, what you do that for? He was talking about my friend wanted. I'm like, boy. That's why I said some kids do stuff to try to fit in. They do stuff to try to, do something to their ego. And I'm like, why you gonna let this boy get your brand new pair of shoes and you gonna get, cause my grandson wanted that boy's shoes now. That doesn't make no sense. That boy done wore his shoes and you got a brand new pair of shoes. My daughter put all that money in. My daughter made him take them shoes back to school and he got his shoes back. That's why I told him, stop being a follower. Stop listening every time your friends say, yeah, man, I get your shoe, you can get mine. Now you know that wasn't right. You done wore your shoe down, and then he gonna get your new shoe. I'm like, KJ, I'm gonna get you, boy. So we talk to our kids and we tell them, look, I know you wanna fit in, you wanna have friends, but don't jump to everything that a friend tell you to do, because sometimes they are not your friends. Some of your own friends will be the one your bully. You know what I'm saying? For me to hear my granddaughter say, honey, look, even though they were 7 years old, she 8 now. Honey, little girl. Honey, little girl called themselves best friends, right? And she gonna say, Grandma, we were bullying each other. But they supposed to be friends. I was like, I thought the girl was your best friend. And I told the girl, that girl ain't your friend. That girl is not your friend. If your friend, a friend gonna tell you, and this is God knows true. A friend will tell you when you're wrong. A friend will try to make sure you right along with them. They ain't gonna let you go astray. A friend gonna try to get you back on track. You know what I'm saying? A real friend will tell you, look, I don't think you need to be doing this. I think you need to step back a little bit. I don't think this for you. A real friend will be honest with you if you really consider them as a friend. But them bullies, don't fall for it. Don't fall for those tactics them bullies be trying to put out. So that what? So that principal really gave him the hammer, apologized for what they did towards me. And guess what? We became friends. I gave him. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, let me see. I missed something up here. Okay, Lewis said, closely toward the end of the day, the principal called me to the office and told office, and I did not know what he wanted, but I went over anyway, and I opened his door, and he had all the boys in the office, and they was bawling their eyes out. Wow. So if you haven't never spoke about it, Lewis, so if you haven't never told your principal about what was happening, it would have still continued, Lewis. So
You was getting tired of, you had to tell somebody. You had to speak to somebody, don't you know? You could have long-term effects from bullying. It can mess with your anxiety, everything. Wow. Like I said, I've never been bullied, but I have been picked on. But I have been cyberbullied on YouTube too. Like I was saying, where that girl took my picture and put it on her channel. That was cyberbullying. Just because of the fact she didn't like who I was following. Because they had a problem with them. And that's wrong. You have a problem with someone, you deal with them. You deal with that person as an individual. Don't try to talk about the girl had put my picture on somebody else's body. Me and a group of girls, me and a group of ladies that was moderators on another channel. And because they didn't like the person's channel, they would say stuff about us. So right here it said, how does bullying affect your health? Increases stress and anxiety. Constant worry, fear, and feeling unsafe can lead to chronic stress and panic attacks. So I said, whoo. Because that time when she did do that, I was like, I was feeling at the point where I don't know if I want to keep having my channel. I said, because I do share my children over here, and I don't want nobody to be taking their pictures and putting them on their channels and stuff like that. Because I was like, I was about to tone off. I was going to end my channel. But I'm like, it's just too much. I said, people are taking their personal problems and what going on with other YouTube creators and taking it out on other people for no reason at all. Because that's what happened. She had a problem with the person I was moderating with. And, you know, they was back and forth with each other, having all kind of stuff going on. But then she going to bring his moderators in it and going to talk about us. And I'm like, what? And one thing, like I said, I found out today I've been on YouTube 6 years. You never seen a video or a picture or live stream where I have talked about anyone in that way. I might have spoke about things in general, but you never seen me use my platform to get back at anyone. Because that is cyberbullying. When you take your platform to attack someone, that is cyberbullying. I never did that. And I never have. Because I always have said, if a person have a problem with what I say or talk about or what I do, you don't have to follow me. You can keep strolling. You can go past me. You know, you don't even have to stop. You don't even have to tune in. But if it get to the point where someone have to cyberbully you, and if they can't talk to you about it offline, but they keep constantly coming at you online, they're a bully. They're a coward. They let me know they'll do anything. So I'm just reading some things about how bullying affects someone's health. Because today is Wellness Wednesday. And I want to share this. It can lead to depression. Bullying can cause feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and loss of interest in daily life. And that's what happened. Like I said, that what happened to my granddaughter. She got bullied so bad where she wanted to just end her life. And when somebody gets you to that point, they feel they have gotten all your power. But she was able to get her power back. She was able to get back strong. She put all that behind her. And we was talking about that one day, and I told her she is so strong. She have a lot to live for. She have a baby, you know, a little boy. And I told her, look, he's worth staying alive. He's worth fighting through all the nonsense. And because some people be at you for no reason. If you sit back and think about the times you didn't probably fell out with somebody or had word with somebody, and you sit back and think about it, was it worth it? You can laugh about it because some things just be funny. You know, you can sit back and say, "Oh, that wasn't even worth my time." Like I said, I never tell a person not to defend themselves. Defend yourself. But if it's something, now this just me speaking. If I can avoid it, I will. But if I have to come on and say what I gotta say, I say what I gotta say and be done with. Like I said, I never attack no YouTube creator over here. I never use my platform. I might have said things like example of things, but I never had to call another YouTuber out for anything. When I find out that you don't deal with me, I stay out your way. I stay out your way. If we support the same people, one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna respect another person's channel. I'm gonna respect another person's channel. I'm not gonna go in nobody else's channel trying to say something to somebody in a way because I feel like that is being disrespectful to that host. If it's somebody in my chat, and I already have said is, if someone follow me and they don't care about some people that follow me, that's y'all problem. They got nothing to do with me. Y'all have to handle that. I said, you have a problem with me, you can get my cell phone, you get my number, my email. There's ways you can contact me. Yep, because I have real stuff going on in life. I don't have time for stuff on social media back and forth. I used to just like sit and listen, and I try to maybe say stuff to try to make peace about stuff. Now I let people be who they are. I let people be who they are. If it ain't concerning me, mm-mm, nothing to do with it. I don't have nothing to do with it. Because sometimes you can try to help people and you be the one to get hurt the most. So these are some things that can affect you when you're being bullied or cyberbullied. It affects your heart health. High stress from bullying may increase blood pressure, raise the risk of heart problems. It disrupts your sleep. Anxiety and worry can cause trouble falling and staying asleep, leading to exhaustion. Causes stomach problems. Stress from bullying can lead to stomach aches, nausea, and digestion issues. It also can weaken your immune system. Long-term stress can weaken the body ability to fight off illness and infection. So these are some of the things that bullying can affect your health. And like I said, this is for educational purposes only. It's increase your stress and anxiety, one, lead to depression, affects your heart health, disrupt your sleep, causes stomach problems, and weaken your immune system. So if you're going through any of these things, you're not alone. There's hope. Cyberbullying can be just as harmful. 24/7 access means that there is no escape. Hurtful words online can lower self-esteem. That's what I was saying. Some people, I have seen how some people just, they just go off. I mean, they talk about your children, they talk about your spouses, they just, some people just go all out with it, but that's what they choose to do. Hurtful words online can lower self-esteem. It can lead to isolation and withdrawal. It increases the risk of self-harm and suicidal thoughts. It leaves emotional scars that can last a lifetime. That's what I'm saying. When people be bullied as a child, and I want to thank Lewis for sharing about what he experienced. I want to thank Frank, shared some things. Joshua, anybody that shared something in my live stream about bullying today, thank you. And I'm glad that you don't have no long term effects from it, because a lot of people get traumatized. A lot of people have long term effects from things like that. That's why I was glad my granddaughter was able to overcome what she did through prayer, giving it to God, and knowing that her life is important. I need to catch this call right quick, but they're gonna have to call me back. But that's what I want to share today about bullying. Just know that you're not alone out here. There's a lot of people that's going through it. Like I said, they might not do it in person, but they are doing it online. So speak up, get help. You matter, your life matter. Let's end bullying together. You are valuable, you are loved, help is available. Like I said, there are 911 numbers you can call, the 1-800 numbers. There are people you can talk to. You can talk to them anonymous, or you can give them your name. So never feel like that you're the only one that's going through this, because there are people out there that really do go through this, and they're dealing with it. Some deal with it, and some cower their way out. And when I say cower their way out, they want to hurt themselves because they feel like, well, if that person telling me or saying all these horrible things about me, I might as well end my life. But that is no way. That is, it's a better way. It is a better way. But I do want to thank everybody that did come through. Like I said, we have to take a lot of this stuff real serious. We have to take it real serious, and it can affect a person in long term. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm not overlooking. If you need the hotline number because you are going through something, don't worry, you're not alone. That's right. The number is 988. Call 988 all around the United States. It's free. Yes, it is. It's free. Those numbers are free, and you can call those numbers and report. Because I know we had to help my granddaughter. They told her if she needed to talk to someone, hey, living for Jesus, how you doing? I didn't know you was up in here, girl. How you doing? You doing okay? But yeah, just doing my awareness. School to start. Have the girls went back to school yet? Did they enjoy their trip with grandmama now? And I was just speaking on bully awareness because school starting back, and I know you say your girls are not on social media, no way. And I was just talking about how people get bullied on social media through cyberbullying, and adults get cyberbullied. And Lewis was sharing that he was bullied when he was younger, and I'm glad that he was able to overcome. Because a lot of people go through these things, and it be long term, and it can affect them mentally. So I pray for every child that started back school, including my own grandkids. I pray that they have a prosperous school year. And if anything go on, please report it. Some people try to handle things on themselves, and they feel like when a person bullied them to the point where they don't want to be here, because that's what happened to my granddaughter. They pushed her to that. They pushed her, but I was glad we was able to pull her back. We was able to pull her back. But it was scary. Teachers calling, talking about what she want to do at school to herself. But I was, oof. I thank God for God, grace and mercy, that she turned to Him. And I was praying. Then when she ended up with her baby, she said, Grandma, I know I have a lot to live for. And when I heard her say that, and when her baby came here, she knows she had a purpose here. But social media had her feeling like she had to do something to herself. Because that's just how that devil works. That's how that devil make you feel. That's when you're in fear. That's why I choose faith over fear. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Um, this is why my children don't have social media. Oh, they start tomorrow? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Prayers for you and your family. Prayers for you and your family. Yeah. You know, they still do the bullying at school, but I think a lot of it come from being on social media too. And like I said, a lot of people, a lot of children won't report what's going on because they be afraid. They be afraid to tell the teachers, their principals. They be scared to tell when another child is at them because, you know, a bully, and that's what they be, a bully. Because they will continue to just pound and be at you. Even when you go and try to report it, they'll get you because you telling on them. I'm sorry to hear about that. It it took a little time because they had to do it. What? I just bought him and he's going to be, oh, okay, next week after the hospital mortgage his body. I'm sorry to hear about that. It was sudden. Wow. I know that's kind of hard, especially, you know, something just happened. Like when my mom passed, you know, I knew my mom, she up in age and, you know, I knew some things that she was going through and but I just wasn't expecting it then, but I knew she was, you know, I saw the signs when my mom was leaving me. But you know how you see stuff and you don't want to let it kick in? Because I know what she was going through. But I just wasn't ready. I guess you never be ready. But I know she's not in no more pain. What? They did an autopsy. Who is this right here? Okay. I'm missing some. Oh, Lewis said, Little Jesus, my brother died a few years ago and they did an autopsy on him. He was 59. He had 3 strokes and staph infection. Woo! That's called syphilis. Oh my God. I'm so sorry to hear about that. Lewis said they did an autopsy on him and he had psychotic and narcotics in his system. Wow. I had told you the signs before it happened, Georgia girl. Oh, okay, Frank. They said they found a doctor canister, you know, the kind that you can find in a doctor's office that has like a Band-Aid. It had medicine in it with a bunch of pills. What? Oh my God. I'm sorry about your brother, and I'm sorry You hear that about your brother living for Jesus. Yeah, Frank, uh, I said a few weeks before my mom passed, I had told my daughter, I said, Mama ain't looking right. She had got little, she had lost a lot of weight, but she was just in so much pain. I'm like, I would rub her legs, and when I took her to the doctor was saying, well, the doctor would say, she's okay. The doctor just wouldn't just come out and say, this and that, but I felt it a few weeks before she passed. And I told my daughter, I said, I still get, I said, Mama just ain't looking right. Yeah, she would cry. I mean, my mom would cry every night. She was in pain. Okay. Yeah. But I'm sorry to hear that about y'all brothers. I didn't know what you was going through, but I was lean to tell you. Oh, okay. And you're not supposed to mix. Oh, dog, your brother was mixing up pills. Yeah, he had narcotic and psychotic pills mixed up. Wow. Oh my God. He was taking a lot of pills there, wasn't he? Yeah. So prayers going out to Living for Jesus. She said she lost her brother, and he was going through some things. Wow. And Luz was just sharing about he lost his brother a few years ago. Yep. But like I said, I do want to thank everybody there for sharing their input about bullying. I've been sharing information about bullying for the last 3 days. I'm gonna probably finish out this week. I'm just doing it for this week, since school did start back. And like I said, let's talk to our children. Like I tell my grandkids, you can be a friend, but you don't have to be a bully. And then a lot of kids like to follow the crowd. They like to do what the other kids doing, and they be like, I ain't playing with you today. And they'll tell their friends, don't play with this person. Cause I tell you, my granddaughter, she was 7 last year, just like she was just going through it last year with the little girls in her room. She was like, Grandma, they don't want to play with me. They messing with me and all this and that. I told my daughter, I said, will you please go to that school? Go to that school and see what's going on. Find out my granddaughter was at them too. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. But she been in school 3 days this week. They started school on Monday. And I've been talking to her. She was like, I've been having a good day at school, Grandma. Everything okay. I said, all right, now we're going to keep it that way. I told her, do not put her hands on nobody kids. And they don't need to put their hands on her or my grandson. It's in school my grandson go to, they got gangs up there. They have gangs up there. And, ooh, cause my grandson, I told him, you so easy to persuade. Look how that boy got your shoe. He let that boy got his brand new shoes, and he got his old shoes. Cause the boy said he liked his shoes and he wanted his. I'm like, you don't do that. If you want to swap, give him a pair of old shoes. Don't get nobody your brand new shoes with your mama work hard to pay for. My daughter made him take them shoes right back to school. Yes, she do. But I told her, Lewis, this is what I told her. If she act up in school, if she do wrong, that channel will not be running. Like what time it is? 7:58. She don't be on it during the week like that. She might be on it when she get through doing her homework and stuff like that. But she get monitored over there. We monitor her comments. We see who following her. We see what she's posting. But we already told her during the week, You might be on it for a little bit, but anything, because I told her when I was up there the other day, you got to be in bed at 9 o'clock. And if them grades start slipping, you start acting up, that YouTube channel will be deleted. If someone is putting their hands on your children or grandchildren, do something about it. That's right. That's right. But yeah, but I enjoyed everybody for coming through. We're also doing the verse of the day. Me, Frank, Miss Key, and Sassy. All of them came through today. It was good to see everyone. We had Life with Your Sharon, Living for Jesus, Frank G, Miss Key, Lewis. I see Terry had came in earlier. Good to see you, Terry. And happy birthday to all the people born in August. I know Miss Key, not Miss Key. I know Miss Patty had a birthday. I think Frugal Mama had one a couple of days before. Was that still July? Gotta see. I know she had a birthday a couple of days ago. Both of them did. So birthday shout outs to them. I don't know who else born in August, but happy birthday to all the August babies. But I'm finna get ready to get on off of here. But I just want to bring that about the bullying. And like I said, a lot of people don't take bullying serious. They think it might be a joke to them. They think it's just kids just acting out. Whether you think kids are acting out or what, please pay attention. Take notice. See what causing them to act the way they act. If they come home acting different, they come home just changing their ways of behavior, find out. It's a reason why they acting that way. There's a reason they act that way. There's a reason they don't want to go to school. There's a reason they don't want to dress this way or wear this or wear that. Because we know there are some cruel children out there. There's some cruel adults in the world too. And they do things to hurt others' feelings. Even teachers try to, they be bullies toward the students. They'll do little slick stuff, and the children end up feeling a certain way. Cause I swear by the granddaughter teacher, we didn't know what was going on with that lady last year. Every day that lady would send a note, text my daughter. Thank you. Every day my granddaughter teacher would say, my granddaughter doing something. She raising her hand. Now, this is what I didn't understand about my granddaughter teacher, right? She didn't want my granddaughter saying the answers to everything she asked. She felt like my granddaughter was annoying her, but she was telling her to raise your hand if you know the answer. She couldn't help that she knew all the answers. She was trying to say that she wasn't getting other kids a chance to raise their hand, but I didn't feel like there was nothing wrong. And then my grandma said, Grandma, she told me to ask her stuff. She told me to look and pay attention. That woman, I don't know what wrong with that teacher last year. I said, we need to go over there and see it. This woman got a problem with her, with our granddaughter. Because that don't make no sense. She sent my daughter a text because my granddaughter was looking at her. How is she supposed to learn? She supposed to look at her to know what she's talking about. And then after I think my daughter did talked about it, what was going on. And I told my daughter that's all it needed for you to go over there and see what was going on. After then, the lady stopped texting her just about every day. Sometimes be them teachers too, y'all. If she's a smart child, why don't you just let her ask? She talking about my granddaughter, every time another student would want to say they got it, she'll raise her hand. I'm like, and y'all see my granddaughter. She be want to get that first word in. Sassy. You saw that the other day. She just took over my line screen. You was over there when you allured. She's very talkative. And she talk fast. And sometimes you can't get a word in. I think she get it from me. That was just saying, Grandma, I get it from you. You be talking all the time. Hey, little star, how you doing? You been over on my little granddaughter channel? I think this is one of my little granddaughter little friends. How you doing, little star? Have you started back to school? Do anybody bully you at school, little star? Little Star's a child, y'all. I think she about 8 years old, about the same age my granddaughter. She better be getting ready to go to bed. All right, Sassy, good to see you. Little Star, have you started school? Have anybody tried to bully you? Because I know, it happens a lot when you start being in school. But yeah, my granddaughter said she didn't want me looking at her. The teacher didn't want my granddaughter looking at her, y'all. I'm like, what? What kind of stuff is that? Ain't you the teacher? No, you had your teacher there always I said, pay attention now. And my granddaughter was just looking at her like she had a problem. I was like, something ain't right. Something ain't right with that. Mm-mm. I'm doing okay. How are you? Have you started school back? I know you're a little child because I went to your channel. Shout out to all my members for coming through. Have you started back school yet? How was your first day? My little granddaughter's in her first couple days been good. Glad to hear that. But maybe that's a good sign her school year gonna be all right. I'm praying. Ooh, child. But yeah, I just want to share about cyberbullying and bullying. Like I said, I pray all the children have a prosperous school year. And if you're going through anything like any type of bullying, just know that you're not alone. There are 1.5 people dealing with bullying, and they have suicidal thoughts from bullying. Like I said, a lot of people feel like that's a way out when you hurt yourself, but it's not. It's not the way out. It won't solve a lot of things. You just gonna have your family in distress. They're gonna be worried and wondering, why did you do that to yourself? And tell your parents, if you're a child, let your parents or grandparents, teachers, or somebody you trust, let them know what's going on with you. Try not to hold all of that in, try to tell someone if someone is bullying you. Whether you're on social media or not, if someone doing that to you, let someone know. You could always call the anonymous line and report and talk to someone. If you just need someone to talk to, there are places you can call. Just tell them, look, I'm going through something. I'm being bullied, and you having suicidal thoughts, anything like that. You can share that on the hotline. Let them know. Most of they'll probably ask you what state you in. You don't really have to give your name. You don't have to give your name. But yeah, this have always been. Oh, you didn't start school yet? When you go back to school? Thank you for liking. You haven't started school yet? Have you ever been bullied before? Have you ever been bullied before, or have you bullied someone? Tell the truth now. Have you been bullied before, or have you bullied somebody else? Okay. That's good. That is good. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing to bully no one, and no one should bully you. I know some kids make other children feel bad if they don't have like the expensive clothes or the kind of shoes another child have. Some children try to make other kids feel bad about that. But You have to look at, I mean, this is just how I was brought up. Just be thankful that your mom and dad or grandparents were able to get you what you got, what they're able to get you. Because the way how this economy is now and the way how life is now, you're blessed to be able to have what you have. So I know I'm 57 years old, and I know coming up with 5 brothers, it was hard. It was hard, especially back in the 80s and 90s. It was hard, especially as a single parent. You had to do what you was able to do, got what you was able to get, and be thankful. But now, kids have choices. They can choose. Some of them go and pick out what they want. If they ain't doing it online, they'll go to the store and get what they want. And shoes is not cheap now. Tennis shoes are not cheap. 85, 100, 200. Okay, you have a good night, okay? You're probably supposed to be in the bed. It's 8 o'clock. I think you told me you were 8 years old or 10 years old. You be good now. You attend school. But, to each of each own, who's able to buy their children what they need, or you're able to buy your kids those expensive clothes and shoes, do that. Because that's what you work for. But don't make another child feel bad because they can't get what you got. That's bullying. That's what I call bullying. But be thankful. Because those tables can turn now. Those tables can turn. My kids was coming up. I got them what I was able to get them. Now, it was time when I got a little bit more, was able to get them some of the things they really, really wanted. But when I was not able to get those things, I let them understood that, look, you got you a pair of shoes, they're decent. Right now everything is trending. You want to wear certain types of shoes, certain types of clothes. That's what out now. They got this social media, they can find stuff. If they see a certain, because when me and my daughter went to the concert to see Monica and Brandy, I think just about everybody was kind of trending, looking like Brandy and Monica. They would wear something, it was trending at the concert. Because my daughter had wore something similar to what they had on. Everybody was either wearing tie and a little suit, or they'll have a big coat and they'll have a hat on. When stuff be trending, children try to get with what's up now, what's new out there. There ain't nothing wrong with that if you able to get those things. But never have to make another person feel bad because they weren't able to get those new LeBrons. And I know them shoes expensive. The new LeBrons, the Jordans, or whatever they call it. Child, coming up in the 90s. And when my day, child, I was glad I was able to get a pair of shoes. Nowadays, kids are able to get 2 and 3 pair of shoes at one time. And then they be expensive shoes at that. So that's why I tell my grandkids, y'all are truly blessed. You're truly blessed to have a mom and people that work hard to make sure you have the things that you have. So I'm going to get ready to wrap this on up. I do want to thank everybody that did come through tonight. I do them in the evening time because during the day I've been did my cardio. I rest up. I take my medication. And then once I get myself where I'm able to come live, it just happens to be in the evening time. But I do want tomorrow. I gotta go out of town tomorrow. But I will do another episode of building, probably on a short. And I'll be doing my burst of the day, my cardios. I probably won't do a stream tomorrow But I'm going to continue with the bully awareness. And if anybody that's listening to this stream now, when I come back on Friday, when I do Friday talk or whatever, if you want to come up and share about what you went through as a child being bullied, you know, if you want to come on the panel and talk about it, or if you want to be in the chat. But I do want to thank everybody that did share some of the things that they went through as growing up, and it still exists, y'all. It still exists. Bullying still exists. And a lot of people that bully others because they are bullied. They have been bullied. They have been going through low self-esteem, and they go through a lot of angerness. Hey, pre-retirement. Just talking about bully awareness, and just school is back in, and we know that a lot of kids and we know a lot of adults get bullied these days. Whether you're on social media or not, adults get bullied, children get bullied, and it's not a good thing to do because it will cause long-term mental health. Like I said, I'm just so grateful that my granddaughter was able to overcome. She was able to overcome being bullied. And she's graduated, she have a baby, she ready to go to college this fall, and she knows she have a lot to live for. She have a lot to live for. But back then, she was young, dealing with those bullies that was making her feel like she didn't need to be on this earth. So when a person have another person feel like they have that much power over you to make you say you want to hurt yourself, get your power back. Don't let them feel like they can control you in that way, because that's what a bully do. A bully try to control you. They try to have you where, look, I got them now. I got them just where I want. They ain't gonna fight back. Keep fighting. And just remember, you're not alone out here. There's lots of people that's going through this, but they're afraid to speak on it because they know if they tell on someone, they go back to school, they're going to probably get even worse, get bullied even harder. But there are ways you can report them. You can report them, especially if they're doing it online. If they're doing it in real life, please report them. Whether you talk to your school system, if you have to come down to law enforcement, that's what you do. Because you can get in trouble for cyberbullying, stalking. All that is a crime. All of that is a crime. So this have been a great live. Thank you, pre-retirement, for coming through. Appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all check her out. We had Lewis Fuller in here. Thank you, Lewis, for sharing what you went through as a child for being bullied. We had Lil Star in here. Thank you for coming through. Sassy, thank you. Life with Sharon, thank you for coming through. Miss Key, thank you also. Who else was in here? I see Minister Terry had came through. Frank G, and First Lady. Thanks to my members for coming through also. And remember, guys, I'm going to type in the chat. You are not alone. Choose faith over fear. Choose faith My disclaimer has said I was not here to diagnose or suggest any type of treatment. This is just awareness Anytime that you're going through any of these things, when it comes down to cyberbullying or bullying, report it. Report it to someone. If you don't want to talk to someone in person, you can call the hotline number. But I pray y'all continue to have a blessed night. Thank y'all for coming through. Stay safe. Remember to stay hydrated. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, good night.